Hey everybody, I was getting a little bit hungry, so I figured now's a good time to prepare this dinner. I'm going to do a lemon pasta with some mixed greens, mostly using some kale and not kale. Actually, actually, I'm going to use Swiss chard and collard greens. So, hope you're joining me. I've already started boiling my water just to get things going. I've got everything kind of in place. It looks kind of like a scattered, cluttered mess, but it's really in place so that we can get things rolling pretty quick. So while the water is boiling, I'm turning on the front burner with the cast iron, and I'm going to cook on very low heat half of the package of the ground turkey. I just cut it in half so that I could save the other half because if you're cooking for one, you don't need to eat for two unless you're carrying a second. Put that in there now. Just it's going to take a minute because it's got to heat up and everything. But while we're waiting, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil over in this pan here. And I will turn this stainless steel pan on low. My main reason for being sure that I'm only using low temperatures on this one is that stainless steel heats up evenly and quickly. I do like the cast iron, however, because it does provide extra nutrients for the body. While that's on super low, let's prepare some things to go in there. First, I'll just start with the onion. Now, take off both my hands because I don't really use that piece. And I always pull off the brown part. And as you see, the rest of this onion is pretty decent. Remember the video from the other day, how the one onion didn't end up so great? But it's okay. It's all good. This one is decent. So I prefer to cut mine in half and then put the two halves down because it makes it more steady for me. It becomes more steady and I'm able to better work with what I have. I like the flavor that onion adds, honestly, to soups when I prepare soups or if I prepare spaghetti or anything like chicken and turkey or fish. One clove from the garlic. Set it down on the board. I lay this part of the knife down flat and give it a good whack. And then the garlic comes easily out of the skin when I do that. And I've got two young collard greens. And I call them young because oftentimes in the store you'll see them and they'll be huge. But we know that the growing season's been a little difficult and different this year, so these are really small. So what I do, fold it in half, and you see where the spine is right there? I can just tear the woody stalk out. If you're interested in eating it, go for it, but it's a little bit much for me to eat. The rest of this, I will fold up. And I can chop it pretty easy. I just rock the knife back and forth. Always watching for your fingers. Chop it in. Take the other one and do it again. Fold in half. Pull that stocky part out. Roll the rest of it up. And chop it decently, and toss it in. So far we've got the collard greens. And if you're using the adult size, what I call adult size collard greens, you can just use one big leaf. If you're just cooking for yourself, if you have more people, you can add depending on your own taste and like, and make it so whatever way is comfortable for you and your guests. I've got an onion. I've got 1 clove of garlic and collard greens. And I'm going to add Swiss chard. See how it's kind of wrinkly looking? But you see the beautiful color on the stems? It can grow really beautifully if someone has an outdoor garden. In fact, one of my neighbors on the other side of the park has an outdoor garden, and they always grow the Swiss chard. I'm doing the same thing with this, folding it in half and tearing off that stalky part. And of course, I rolled it up and I did pretty much the same thing with that. I'll use the big spoon now. 2 tablespoons of olive oil is really just enough to get that going, in my opinion. Ground turkey is wanting to get a little splattery. While these vegetables are cooking down a little bit, I'm not trying to overcook them, but I am going to add these vine ripe diced tomatoes from the can into there. Just one can, it's just 14 and a half ounces. And it's on low, like I said, so let that continue to go for a little bit. And I have a lemon. I'm only going to use a little bit of the lemon though. cut off the ends. But before I get to the lemon, I decided that I was just going to use this entire package because then I can have dinner tonight and lunch tomorrow out of this one package. It's nice that it was small and convenient, and then that way I'm not wasteful. Now I'm thinking about it again. Do I really want to cook this much? It will make it easier for tomorrow. But I'll take half of it out first. And as much as I love spaghetti, I like it better when it's broken in half. It just makes it more manageable for me. And if you're feeding, small kids or people that have difficulties eating or chewing or whatever, it can make it more manageable for them as well. So, actually, kind of fun doing that because usually I only pick out just enough for one serving. But it would be nice to be able to prepare, put some in a container, have it already in the fridge so that it's prepared for lunch or dinner tomorrow. Um, that's a nice kind of leftovers. I don't know how well you see this, but things are cooking down. I'm gonna increase a little bit of the flame, and I'm gonna do a nice slice of the lemon. What do I call a nice slice? It's about a half an inch thick, and I'll take that piece and I cut it in half. And squeeze and add my lemon juice right in with the pasta. So while the pasta is cooking, it'll have that nice lemony flavor. But I will also add some in with the sauce. Ground turkey is still doing good. Of course, you can do this with ground chicken, or you can do this with hamburger. But my goal tonight is to have a more healthy, nutritious meal. And I know some people aren't really interested so much in the healthy piece of it, but as we get older and our bodies change, the things that we eat and the things that we do tend to have more of an impact on our bodies. And sometimes we know it, and sometimes we don't know it. Sometimes you might go to the doctor and they may talk to you about a bunch of stuff, and you don't even know what they're talking about. And you may go back later and say, okay, what's this GFR thing they're talking about? Well, according to this, it looks like my kidneys aren't working as well. If that kind of a situation happens for you, that's a good time to talk directly to your doctor about whatever test results and paperwork that you received, even if the doctor didn't mention those particular things, and let them know you have some concerns because you see that stuff in the paperwork and you're trying to figure out what does it mean for me? How healthy am I? Is there something that I can do right now to improve my health or, my longevity? Just something to seriously think about. One of the things about ground turkey is when it cooks, it just cooks right there how it is. And sometimes it feels like you have to like break it apart. And so I'll be doing that. And then I'll add it to this sauce. Because we do want to make sure that ground turkey is cooked through and through. And yeah, it could be easier to go out and stop off in those fast food places and get something to eat, but really, this is a benefit to us when we eat healthier foods at home. You can still save your money and use them on other things that you may want, like a power generator or water purifier or whatever you may want. And typically, if you preheated your water, like started boiling your water before you put your spaghetti or your whatever pasta in there, typically pasta can be done in about 8 minutes or so. So that's why I started the water and everything before I did everything else. I start my water so it can start heating up, and then I work on the onions and the garlic and the greens. And then I work on the meat, which is not a requirement for the meal, but it's something that I particularly enjoy. So we're having the meat today. I can turn the meat off because it's ready. Because it's in cast iron, of course, I'm using a pot holder, and I'm going to add in my tomatoey saucy mixture. You see how that's coming together? It's not super watery and soupy. It's not the same as just having regular old plain spaghetti sauce. It's a meal that's really whole and complete. And it's something that's easy to say, hey, I'm cooking for one and I'm going to enjoy it. I have to treat myself, not cheat myself. That really looks good. The rest of that lemon can be saved for another day or maybe for some lemonade or whatever. Pasta is almost done. It's got a little wiggle to it, but I really like for it to be a little more done. So I'm turning up the heat a little bit on it, just a teeny bit. And since this portion of it, the salsa, the sauce, since that's pretty much done, I do want to add one more thing. Adding my little spice blend with the pimento leaves and more garlic powder and have some cayenne pepper to it as well. I don't use table salt directly in my meals. A lot of the things that we get, including canned vegetable products, are often filled with sodium. So I get my sodium needs taken care of in those other ways, but I still like my food to have a little bit of a kick. That looks pretty darn good, if you ask me. I'm gonna turn that off because that part is ready now. It's like the ABCs. A got ready, B got ready. Now let's see our way through to the end when spaghetti is ready. Give it a try and see how it is. And if you're looking for me to throw it at the wall, no, I'm not throwing it at the wall because I'm not going to clean the wall. You want to throw it at your wall? Help yourself, and then you can clean your wall. Just right, al dente, not mushy, not crunchy, just right. So I can turn that off. I'm going to drain this water off, and I'll be right back. Now that I've drained the water off, I'm just dumping all that spaghetti right in there. Now I'll mix it up a good little bit. I kind of like to fold it all in together. And I know some people prefer to just put the dry spaghetti on the plate and put the other stuff on top. I like mine all to be mixed together because the olive oil and all the flavors and seasonings, I like for it to all blend. If I were just eating it just tonight in one meal, yeah, I might put it with just the spaghetti and then put the sauce and everything on top. But as I mentioned earlier, this is for tonight and for tomorrow, either lunch or supper. Move this over a little bit. There you go. Not bad, huh? Quick, easy, and delicious. Let's give it a try. Honestly, this is just the right blend of everything. I'm going to put the directions down in the description for this video. It's a nice little hint of lemon. It's not overbearing. The greens, delicious. The diced tomatoes. It's nice to have the diced tomatoes and not just have the regular saucy sauce. because a regular saucy sauce usually has a ton of salt with it. Using the diced tomatoes is more of a low sodium option, which can be healthier for you. Your kidneys will thank you. Don't quote that. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not an attorney. I am just sharing with you my meal today. And like I said, this can be done with or without the ground turkey. This could be done using TVP, which is one of my more favorite meat alternatives, which is texturized vegetable protein, which can come in forms of meatballs and other kinds of things. Or this can just be just straight done with a variety of vegetables. You can add zucchini to it. You can add all kinds of different stuff to it. But I tell you this right here, this is a keeper. Thank you for joining me. I hope you'll give it a try, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please like and share this video if you found it helpful or even entertaining to you. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I would love to have you as a subscriber and to be a part of the family. Get out this weekend, check out your stores, check out your farmers markets, see what's available so you can start putting back a little bit more. And we'll be working on some more meals as well as doing more dehydrating and food storage on this weekend because this is like 4th of July weekend. So I'll have even more time to devote to that. So I look forward to talking to you again soon. Take care.